G'day guys, my name's Chris.
Hi.
I'm here from Moreland City Council just to show you a bit about this tractor and how it works and what we do and how we get around and cut all the grass on the ovals. How's that? Is that better? You want to play tag with the tractor? Your teachers would like that very much.
Goodbye. He's going through the bump. There he goes through the gate. That's good.
In 2009, Council began research and consultation to identify the key challenges in sport for women and girls within Moreland.
The review identified several issues.
There was a serious lack of female competition and teams.
Only 8% of participants using council sports grounds were female.
To address this inequality, Council introduced a policy to encourage clubs to be more inclusive of women, juniors, people with a disability and people from culturally diverse communities, or risk losing an allocation of a ground to a club that is being inclusive.
Female participation has now increased by 161% in Moreland.
West Merri-bek Football Club is proud to align with Moreland's policy.
This year we successfully launched the club's first ever under-12 girls footy team.
We're changing our club.
We're changing our culture.
I'm changing the game.
So I'm Claire Johnston and I'm an accredited...
Well, good evening councillors, members of the gallery and our viewers live streaming tonight's meeting. My name's John Kavanagh, I'm the Mayor of Moreland and welcome to tonight's council meeting. Our meeting is being held on the lands of the Wurundjeri people and I acknowledge them as traditional owners. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past and present and elders of other communities that might be with us this evening. I acknowledge that currently many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have made Moreland home and in doing so have contributed to the rich diversity of this municipality. Members of the gallery, please note that this council meeting is being recorded and web streamed live to council's website and Facebook. This recording will also be available as video on demand. Gallery attendees are advised that they will be recorded during this meeting. We'll move straight to the councillors and officers in attendance, starting at my right, Councillor Sue Bolton, Councillor Anna-Olivia Carley-Hannon, and Councillor Helen Davidson, Councillor Jess Dorney, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Natalie Abood, Councillor Ali O'Farnley, Councillor Dale Martin, Councillor Mark Riley, and Councillor Lambros Tapanos. As far as officers, to my left, the Chief Executive Officer, Narina De Lorenzo, and to my right, Grant Thorne, the Director of City Infrastructure, Arden Joseph, the Director of Social Development, Sue Bitchpick, the Acting Director of Planning and Economic Development. We have Olivia Wright, the Acting Director of Corporate Services, Sally Curran, the Unit Manager of Governance, and Anita Craven, the Executive Manager of Organisational Development. Councillors, I've received an apology from Councillor Oscar Yildiz, JP, and I don't think there's any others tonight. Could I have a motion to accept Councillor Yildiz's apology? Moved by Councillor O'Farnley, seconded by Councillor Carley-Hannon. Can I put that to the vote? All those in favour? Against, declare that carried. Councillors, are there any interests or conflicts of interest to confirm on tonight on the annual report? There being none. So the report we have to consider this evening is the draft 2017-18 annual report. I note the independent auditor statement was not available at the time of producing the agenda, but has now been circulated and tabled as part of the annual report for consideration. Do I have a mover? Councillor Abood, you're moving the officer recommendation, Councillor Abood? Yes, and do I have a seconder? Yeah. Oh, it's slightly different to the one that was bonded. Okay, so okay, that's important. So let's just have a look at that. So Councillor Abood is moving what's on the screen. So we'll just have a look at what's up there in comparison. So we've got a. Okay, this is quite different anything. Would you mind standing and reading that for us, Councillor Abood, for the benefit of those watching?
Okay, so the resolution reads that Council 1 notes the independent auditor's report for the financial and performance statements have been received and included in the updated draft annual report 2017-18, which has been tabled. 2, endorses the updated draft 2017-18 annual report, including the tabled independent auditor's reports for submission to the Minister for Local Government by 30th of September 2018 and appends it to the minutes of the meeting. 3, following submission to the Minister for Local Government, gives public notice in the Moreland and Northern Leader newspapers that the annual report 2017 and 18 has been prepared and can be inspected at the council offices and on the council's website. And finally 4, 4 authorises the Chief Executive Officer to finalise the 2017-2018 annual report for printing purposes, including making any administrative changes.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. That's moved by the Deputy Mayor. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Riley. Would you like to speak to it, Councillor Abood?
Oh, no, I don't think I need to.
Would you like to speak to it, Councillor Riley?
Briefly, this is a very important report, just updating where we're at as a council in terms of our municipal plan, and it reflects the sort of breadth and depth of all the work that many of the councillors, staff and the community have had an input into. So I really think it's important that people have a read and reflect, and that will help us in terms of where we're going from this day onwards as well. So it's a good snapshot of where we're at, and I want to thank and congratulate everyone involved for all the efforts in getting us to this point. So
thank you, Councillor Riley. Anyone else like to speak to it? Being no further speakers, I'm going to put that to the vote. All those in favour? Against? Declare that carried unanimously. Councillors, that concludes our business on tonight's meeting. I declare the council meeting closed at 6:06 p.m. Thank you for the attendees and our viewers at home.